I kept waiting for more explanation as to what Divergent was, and it just felt like it was nothing.
I mean, honestly, I guess I'd be factionless.
Yeah, you would, honey.
Well, I hope you guys will throw some coins at me.
Guess who just got a bidet?
You, I
For my
guess.
birthday? I don't know that we'd all have the ability to manipulate a simulation, though.
Oh, I for sure could. I used to lucid dream all the time.
Yeah, Clara, I also know that I could.
It makes me want to stab you with a syringe so bad.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mean Book Club. It's season 15, and we're ready to read, bitches. Poo, poo, poo. Those are guns, because we read Divergent by Veronica Roth.
Oh, wow.
Right?
I
And
like
they're
your gun
guns.
impression.
That's how I feel like she described guns. It was just very generic, and that's what the sound they
Pew,
probably
pew.
made.
I also like that we're starting off season 15 immediately calling the audience bitches.
Oh, you're right.
It's affectionate. Just trust us as an affectionate.
Yeah, we love dogs. It's definitely a very nice thing. And as always, we're all your hosts. I'm Sarah.
I'm Clara.
I'm Jonna.
And I'm Sabrina.
Nailed it as
Oh
always.
man, if that didn't get you to turn off the cast, we'll be more annoying later. But
Was the pattern like increasingly positively annoying?
Yes.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
seemed like it. It felt like nobody feels confident about
Saying their name.
positivity.
about their names.
It just
Anyway.
doesn't feel like the right place.
Yeah,
the right
you're
space
right.
for
We
me to be
are
in.
Mean Book Club, and what we do is we read New York Times bestsellers recommended to us by fans, etc., and we whine about them. We talk about why they became bestsellers or why they shouldn't have, etc. So I'm
I'm
excited.
Clara. That sound better?
Oh, no.
That sound more confident.
Yes, it did. But in the
Terrific.
wrong confidence in the wrong place. Thank you. But did you guys read this bookie dookie?
Oh man,
Hilarious, as always. Sarah, oh, she's so embarrassed.
I really hate this. Is a really tough tone to set for the first episode of season 15. I want to redo everything.
No, we
but I'll
never do.
press
And we will
on.
not. We will not. How'd you read
I'll
it?
press on. I'll try to this will be hopefully the low watermark and we'll get better from here. It was a hardback from the library, came right away, lickety split. And guess what? Really big font, wide space between the font because they want to make you feel like you're getting bang for your buck with this book, but
Mhm.
you're not. You can read it in like a day and a half. Amazing.
I would say that is getting bang for your book. Bang for your book.
Oh, new expression.
New phrase. I like it.
Bang for your
We-
book.
Wow, that has to be
You
section.
really hate us. I hate us.
I did
I
not get a
got
book
an-
from the library.
That's what I was gonna fucking say. I got an
Yeah.
audiobook from the library. One interesting thing is so this is a YA book.
Yeah.
So I asked my niece, age 13, have you ever read Divergent? And she said, no, but I want to watch the movie. So they're
No.
doing something right.
Oh wow. Did
Her
any of
parents
you
are raising her
guys-
right.
Well, I'm sorry,
Oh, you-
Sabrina.
wait.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
What the frick? Okay. This is how I read the book. First, in 2016, the movie came out, and I was it was 2014. I'm so sorry. And it was a movie that was on my Delta flights to and from Southeast Asia. And in the course of those flights, I
Getting her
watched
life story
the movie
here.
4.5 times.
Oh my god.
I think, well, like the first time I really watched it, the second time I also really watched it. And then it was just like a comfort thing because it was such a long flight. And it was just like, it was making the flight seem so much less because it's like, oh, this is a 12-hour flight, or it's a few times to watch in this movie.
Do they not
So
have other
that-
movies available?
I
I
can't
can't-
believe that.
There was
Sabrina.
also a
Still
music
not-
video I watched every time before the movie came on because they forced you to. But
So maybe you were a little nervous and this was like a coping mechanism?
I think so. Yeah, I do think so. It was my first really
Okay.
big flight.
That's more forgiving. Mhm.
We're still nowhere
And-
close to how I read the book. So far, we've
Sure.
gone back 7 years, which is a
Sure.
worrying beginning to how did you
And
read
we're
the book?
talking about the movie, which I was going to ask about, but I guess you're right. We should find out how you actually read the book.
Then this year I watched all the movies again. And
many are there?
then
3. I
There,
think.
well, there's 3, and there's a little bit of tea behind that. I don't know if Jonna will get into that in her
You might have to interject. I
background.
don't know if she
I
will
can
either.
interject if she doesn't.
Of
But
course, I
then
did
I got
that research.
I got an audiobook from the library, and I listened to it, and I gobbled it up
My God.
So audiobook
Sabrina.
from the library.
on 3
is
times
Sabrina's
speed. 3 of
answer.
us,
3 times speed. Okay.
3 times speed.
I
And
did
last
try
night
to
as I was
s-
falling asleep, I tried to watch the movie. Sorry,
I
and then
also
I fell
but
asleep.
I also tried to start the movie the other day. Theo James is in it. If you guys from White Lotus season 2, and I couldn't
Mhm.
get past
Oh.
it. I was like,
What?
this guy's hilarious. He's a dickhead. And then it's like this, he's playing the main guy for. I was like, this doesn't go together at all. I don't know.
Theo
I
James
don't-
is pretty much why I watched White Lotus, and Theo James I only knew from Divergent.
it was hard to watch him in Divergent after White Lotus. It was a hard move
Wow.
for me. Couldn't do it. Had to stop the movie.
Turn it off.
Among other reasons, but let's keep moving. We have now it's just going to be Jonna Jabber's time, because usually we used
That
to do
is so rude.
I was like, I was going
That's
for
what you think of
alliteration.
my
does have-
sections?
It does have
used-
alliteration.
I was going for
Jonna-
alliteration. Jonna's jugs. There used to be Sabrina sum it up. We can't do that anymore. It's Jonna doing it, so it's Jonna Jabbers.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
We're rebooting this entire section. It's not going to be Jonna Jabbers. I also
On
want to
and
say,
on. Jonna Jabbers on and on.
Wait,
Jesus
aren't we?
Christ.
So aren't we talking about? Weren't we supposed to talk about who recommended the book? Why
Yes,
are we
thank
jumping
you,
out of order?
Sabrina.
I'm so sorry.
I was trying to put together this one sheet about the book and couldn't figure out who recommended it, because this is supposed to be another season of Patreons recommend the book.
Mhm.
Sabrina,
Okay.
do you know anything about this?
Yeah, I do. It still is a season of Patreon recommends the book, because I, unlike the rest of you assholes, am a Patreon. I'm a fan of this podcast.
true.
And so
That's
I get
true.
to make recommendations. And as you can see, I have a little bit of a thing for this story. And so, yeah, I recommended it.
You just recommended a good book. The book
What?
you
I
love.
actually didn't. Well, I've never read the
I
book
actually
before.
think we have a lot.
Okay.
I have a lot to talk about with.
I do too. I just had a feeling Sabrina liked it.
I've never
Um,
read the book.
Okay, it is time for
Jonna
Jonna
Jabbers.
No.
On and on.
Okay, I think a lot of people are already saying best yet on the pod. That they're glad Sabrina is too busy to do summaries, and they can't wait for more from Jonna.
Wow.
Okay.
They're saying. So as you can
Wow.
see, I tried to make it very user friendly. Jonna is blue, Clara purple, Sabrina green. Nope, Sarah green, Sabrina pink. Everyone clear?
Yep, we're good.
Wait,
Alright.
okay.
How could
Purple
you have a
and
question?
blue. I mean,
Are you colorblind?
so
What's
Well, I
purple
would
is
say
blue?
that it's kind of
is the purple essentially like a dirty white?
it's
What?
essentially a purple.
Yes, it is,
Purple.
Clara.
Okay, so I'm not Triss.
And the purple
character.
also the purple changes
The
a
bl-
couple of times.
The purple looks almost gray.
Yeah, and the blue looks pretty purple.
Yeah. It
I
would have
always
been
had
if-
trouble with blue and purple when I was little.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Beatrice Pryor, and I'm just an average 16-year-old living in a nightmarish dystopian version of Chicago. Just kidding. As far as I know, I just live in regular Chicago. My life is normal.
Triss, I am your mom. Now that you're 16, it's time for you to choose what faction you want to live in forever. You could stay in our faction, Abnegation, or you could go to one of the other 4. And just as a reminder, even though I know all about other factions, I'm not going to tell you a single thing about any of them. So, feel free to choose a random new one and say goodbye to me and your dad literally forever. Or stay. The choice is yours. Also, you will probably have a hard time doing this because you are divergent. Don't you dare ask me what that is.
Okay. Well, here's what I know about the factions.
We are erudite. We are friendless nerds who only read books.
We are abnegation. Feel free to literally step on us if that makes things easier for you. But please don't look at me. That would be selfish of me.
We're candor. Look, in all honesty, full disclosure, our whole thing is just being brutally honest. I really don't understand how this is a whole entire faction.
We are dauntless. We have tattoos and jump off moving trains. This is literally the only thing Beatrice knows about us.
We are Amity, the only good faction, the obvious choice. Our whole entire thing is that we just do nice things, like pick apples and write poems. Our entire purpose is being happy.
Hey, I choose Dauntless. My name isn't fucking Beatrice anymore. I'm Tris now, which is scary and cool. Oh shit, now we are in a battle to save the world. Luckily, I am very, very, very smart and I win the battle. We are saved.
I die though.
I'm Tris's dad, and I also die.
The end.
Do you?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
That's
got
what the
it.
book leads us to believe. That's what the book leads us to believe. A
About
pretty good
that
summary,
one.
JJ.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
you're
good, pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good.
good.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Got
A
everything
decent first
across.
attempt.
Even thank you. Even
The color
reminding
thing
me,
was weird.
Even reminded me about Amity, the faction.
Yeah, they
kept
don't
I know,
forgetting
it's
about.
barely in there. It felt like I was learning about it as I was reading it, reading your summary.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what SAT word did I forget that she threw in there as a faction? It was Amity. That was the one I forgot.
Mhm.
I didn't know the word abnegation before this book. I'll admit that. Didn't know it.
That's true.
They're all real words? Huh.
Yeah, they're just what erudite. You've heard that. Like some of those,
And candor. You know,
candor. Come on.
I
Dauntless
guess.
They're all real
Yeah.
words.
I use them
well,
daily.
the ones that I knew were real words,
You
which
just
I
thought
guess
some
is
of them were
everything
real?
but abnegation.
Yeah. Did you just like
That's
throw
funny.
in one made up one in for fun?
Yeah, I did think that they did that, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense.
And that's
I
for
guess.
7 years you've thought that.
Yes.
Never went venturing on your own to the
Wow.
internet, a dictionary.
I guess you wouldn't be an erudite. Or is that what we
Oh,
shots fired? Just
Ooh.
kidding.
Wow.
They're
Yeah,
the evil ones.
obviously, I wouldn't be an erudite. They're evil. I'd be cool, dauntless. I'd be divergent. My God, I'd be divergent. Why would I say anything other than that?
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll argue about what faction we'd all go in later, but first,
Jana's
I think we need to
abnegation.
do Jana's jugs.
Shauna's
Yeah,
abnegation.
I'm not abnegation. I knew you guys were going to say that. Why would anyone pick abnegation? This
You
is
don't-
the
you
fact.
don't pick it, you
your
just are.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
When you do the aptitude.
It's Jana's jugs.
Hey, that worked. That I stopped making my insult as if
That's
to
right.
respect the fact that a new segment was starting.
The segment has begun. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Jana's Jugs. We're back this year for season 15 with a cool new theme. This year, we're doing dry jugs. What does that mean? It means all of our drink pairings are going to be alcohol-free for a fun change-up. So,
Should we
This-
take it away from Jana? Should we take Jana's
Ew.
jugs away from
I
Jana?
we didn't make that the choice together.
Yeah, I'm learning about this for the first time right now. And I'm just as angry as the audience is, I'm sure. Sometimes it's helpful to give the voice of the audience on the show.
Yeah, I agree.
We're mad at you, Jana. You think you're better than us?
so this pick is called Natalie's Orange Pineapple Orchid. Orchid.
Ooh, orchid.
Orchid
Orchard of
Island Juice
orchids.
Company. And I
What
chose
kind
it
of flowers did you pick at the orchid?
because it's divergent. It's neither an orange juice nor a pineapple juice. It contains multitudes. If you wanted to go with alcohol, one of the insults in this book is calling someone a stiff. If you're from abnegation, they call you a stiff. So I would recommend adding a little Natalie's to some vodka. Heavy pour on the vodka.
Really good insults in this book, I would say. Really strong, dumb insults.
You're talking about when they physically attack each other.
They just always like, you're not good looking. Or like I don't know, whatever.
Wait,
all their insults
That
are
I don't
really
think
lame.
was an
You're awfully
insult. She keeps,
rigid.
saying she's not pretty throughout the book, and everyone's like, okay, fine, yeah, you're not pretty, but that's okay. You have other
Even
good
the
qualities.
boy she dates.
Yeah, even the boy likes her. He's like, okay, fine, yeah, you're not pretty, but I could still like you.
I
like
liked
you.
that she wasn't pretty though.
Yeah.
Come on. How often do we get to see a heroine that
Shailene
Isn't.
Woodley. You think Shailene Woodley's not pretty?
she was played
Wow,
by
Jonna.
Shailene Woodley? Are we for real? The whole
Yeah.
point is that she's not traditionally beautiful.
Or beautiful in any
okay,
way
no.
at all, is my
The
understanding.
whole point is that she thinks that she's not beautiful.
Other people say
But other
it.
people confirm it.
Other people are like,
Other
you
people
got
confirm
us.
I take issue with people actually. I think that it's not actually confirmed. It's just like a
So
sarcastic.
the boy
comment.
actually is like, oh, okay, maybe
He's
he's
like
being sarcastic,
yeah.
but that's not
Yeah,
how
I think he's like,
it was read.
okay, you're not pretty.
All right. This is
I don't think
really
he's
If
like,
someone said that to
"Wow,
me,
you're right."
if someone said that to me with that tone, I would lose my fucking mind.
All right. Anyway, let's go to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. We got a lot more Divergent. Let's go.
Remember when you said boogie ducky? That
My
was
brain's
mean of me to
broken.
bring up, but
It was bad, and it's just another example of why sometimes maybe it would be good to prepare more. Jonna, tell us about this author. Tell us about the book.
This orange pineapple juice is so good.
she gave you a
Okay.
specific directive.
All right. We're starting with the author because Sabrina is absolutely right. It should be author than book every time. It's
So,
absolutely
I
insane
also
to do it the
agree.
other
Oh,
way.
wow, we're attacking me now? Okay.
Okay. So the author, Veronica
interesting.
Roth.
That we all agree.
Yep. Veronica Roth was born August 19th, 1988 in New York City. Her mother was a painter, is a
1988.
painter.
She's young.
Yes.
She's
What?
a youngie. Oh, get ready.
1988?
Yes.
Get ready, girls. You're
When
going
did
to
this book come out?
1988?
blow your tops.
When did the
Eat
book
my
come out?
butt, Veronica Roth.
The book came out in 2014. No,
that's
even
wrong.
sooner.
I guess
than
it would have
that.
been good to say first. I guess. But
Okay.
that means she was
Okay.
Bullshit.
so she was like 23 when this book came
I'm
out.
getting to
I immediately
that.
am against her. I'm against her.
But
Okay,
I was
well,
after reading the book. So.
Sarah, that's a really interesting thing to say, considering the next thing I'm going to say is that her maternal grandparents were concentration camp survivors.
Sarah.
Wow.
I keep
Wow.
going. I think.
Okay.
I think I don't
I thought this
believe
was kind of an interesting fact. Her maternal grandparents were concentration camp survivors whose religious convictions pushed her mother away from religion. So then Veronica, learned about Christianity by attending a Christian Bible study during her high school years, which sounds a lot like a scary thing potentially. I don't know if your high schools had things
Yeah, they had those.
that were like young life,
Mhm.
come make the
that sounds
virginity
familiar.
pledge, join us.
Yeah, my sister did it.
My childhood just had being a fan of the Jonas Brothers, who all had purity rings, and so I liked the Jonas Brothers, so that appealed to me.
Interesting.
There was this church in my high school that did something that was like, the most people who come will get a llama to go to their school. So I went with my friends and my school won. And then the llama came to the school, took a picture with the principal. It was pretty cool, but it
pretty
met
cool.
before school. So there was no way I could possibly stick with it. Also, you're supposed to bring money and pay for the breakfast. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. And they let me have breakfast anyway.
Yeah,
I
That's
get
the
it.
Christian way.
Yeah.
they would kind of lure people in with like actually dauntless type things where they'd be like, oh, we're going on a zip line and we're doing camping and we're doing all these cool, crazy kayaking. We're doing all these cool.
Oh yeah, I
crazy
did a
things.
ski trip. I did a ski trip with my friends.
And then
church
at the
group.
very end,
Couple-
they'd
every
tell
year,
you-
I think.
They try to get you to take Jesus.
Be
I think.
Christian.
They'd be like, if
I
you
remember
died
that
on this
part.
ski trip, would you go to
Shut
heaven
up.
or would you go to hell? So that's all I had about the author.
No, you had more. That was it? Okay.
I had so much
That's it.
about the book, though.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. The book. It is her debut novel. It was published by HarperCollins, which is a big, big publisher. Children's
Is
books
it not
in
pronounced debut?
2011. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I feel so stupid. It was her debut. It is the first of the Divergent trilogy, a series of young adult dystopian novels set in the Divergent universe. If your first book has a universe, wow, congratulations. You're about to earn $17 million from print and ebook sales between June 2013 and June 2014. The trilogy sold a combined 6.7 million copies in 2013. Summit Entertainment purchased the media rights and subsequently produced a film adaptation, which was released in 2014. Big box office success, despite some mixed reviews from critics, not from Sabrina, obviously, who gave it
Now,
4
sorry.
viewings up. Clara.
My question at this point is,
Mhm.
when did this come out in relation to the Hunger Games? Because this is just a
After a few years after, I think
Hunger
Hunger
Games.
Games
Okay.
was 2000, or the book itself came out. It's just a little after Hunger Games, because it
Okay,
was like
'cause
very
it-
much so marketed as like the next Hunger Games.
right.
And also just a little bit, the media rights to the book were purchased before the
2008
book
was
came
Hunger
out.
Games. Oh, wow.
So the book had not even come out. And she wrote this as at like Northwestern University as like a senior, or like
so-
she was there for her graduate degree in creative writing, something like
Yes,
that.
I'm
Like, she
getting
sounds
to
started
like
that
school.
part. I wanted it to be a surprise for you all because it's so
Sounds like someone didn't have
crazy.
any friends in college. Not a lot of parties, huh?
It's
Just staying home
true.
writing fantasy. Okay,
She says that.
that's funny.
All right.
That's funny.
She intended to write about her idea of a utopia, which I know is really funny. Obviously it became a dystopia. All right. I'm revealing some of the shocking details now
Okay.
that I don't want you to read ahead. It's a story that has now become infamous among Northwestern writers. Veronica Roth wrote her breakout novel over her senior year winter break, signed a 3-book contract with HarperCollins by April, and sold the movie rights before graduation. The book turned out to be a massive hit.
Oh
But
my
Roth,
God.
I know.
It's hard for
Roth
me to
says
root for
it
that.
didn't go exactly like that. Okay. It's not, I know that sounds like a crazy success story and almost infuriating. It's not like that, guys. Actually,
Okay.
she took a light course load in the fall and completed her final papers early, and then took about 50 days to write Divergent. Okay. So it wasn't just over winter break.
Wow.
She then sent a rough draft to an agent she had previously spoken to, whom she'd found after Googling how to get published by a big publisher. Who
That's
took
my
interest
problem.
and signed her. Roth then took another like course load in the spring so she could make revisions.
So angry.
Huh.
So angry.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. I'm so jealous. And it gives me hope.
Does it? How does that give
Was
you
it
hope?
like,
I can write a book that fast.
I can Google how to get noticed by a big fancy person.
I just like have to believe she had some freaking connections. Like
Yeah.
Is something there. There's no way you make a contact with a publisher by Googling person's email, contacting them as a senior.
If it's a
There's
big
some
publisher, they don't
part of the
have their
story.
email. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was also a family friend. And then she Googled
want
it,
the truth.
realized it was a family friend. Yeah, I want the truth.
I want the truth, and it will come out. Only other little detail, Roth has written 4 short stories from Tobias's point of view, which for anyone that read the series or read the book, Tobias is 4 in the story. He's kind of main love interest boy. I thought that was kind of, I would read more books from Tobias.
I don't know why we started calling him Tobias when later, like why?
That's how
why-
he is when he's sexy.
Right? Wasn't that weird though? Why were you calling him
yes.
Tobias? Because it was like
Because that's his
That's
name.
his real name. And at one
but
point he says
Triss's real
he
name's
wants Triss.
Beatrice. Why
Well,
didn't
at one
we
point he
start going
says
back
to
Beatrice?
Triss, he says to Triss, call me Tobias. I like it.
Yeah. He
That's
hasn't heard
why.
his real name.
You
in
missed
so
that
long.
line.
Also, Triss is like a nickname. It's like calling me
Yes,
Brie.
I don't agree with this. I've never heard this name Triss. I heard it and I thought Trish. Do you mean Trish?
Or Chris? Chris,
Trish?
maybe?
I was like, is this Trish with a lisp? I did not care for the name at all.
He'll check it on people with weird names.
Jana. B, I think. Or
Yeah.
Beatrice.
It's
B.
not these types of books have weird names, and that's just how it works. Except for the other names. Just the main names are weird. I guess let's go.
Oh
We'll
yeah.
talk about
All
it.
the side characters had normal names. Okay.
I couldn't, all
speaking
the side
of
characters,
names.
I couldn't even tell them apart sometimes. Most of the time, I got the side characters confused. They had such generic
There's too
names.
many, to be fair.
Yeah.
It looks like it's
I-
time to talk characters. There,
Want
go
to
ahead.
talk about characters? Yeah, let's do it.
Main character Triss. We've
Mhm.
been over it. she's part of abnegation, but she chooses Dauntless. They give you a clue before it's time for her to choose, which is, as at school, watching the Dauntless, my favorite thing to do. It's like, oh, I wonder who she's going to choose.
Yeah, it was so obvious. Very
Yeah, but
obvious.
the story about
Watching-
any other faction would have.
That exactly
Well,
right.
we-
Also, that true. It's like, oh, I want to see them picking apples. I want to see her like
Yeah.
giving stuff to the poor. Like, it's obviously we want to see a teenager die and use weapons. Like, obviously,
Die.
well, sometimes a few of them die.
It was a very violent book,
Yeah.
let's say.
no
It
problem.
was yes, okay. It was a little violent. If you're
It was a
thinking
little
like, oh,
violent.
listen to this as I fall asleep. Oh, don't want to do that, actually.
I don't quite understand why they needed to be so violent. I guess the whole thing was like, oh, they've gotten away from their original calling, and that was like part of it. But it did seem
Yeah.
pretty insane.
I'm gonna
There
do
was
a little trigger warning of self-harm, but one of the characters does kill themselves, and I thought it was kind of a crazy thing to put into a book for young adults,
Yes.
because we know that that's like really just it's better not to talk about it. I also thought it was strange. It's kind of glamorized, even like after the person kills himself, the dauntless leader talks about how he was courageous for leaping into unknown and uncertain waters, and
And
it was kind of
our main
brave.
character Triss like finds fault and sees that that's what's wrong with the Dauntless. But like, if you're a confused kid, I don't know that we need to. I don't know. It just seems a bit irresponsible. And
I
like,
thought
there's
so.
other ways to show that the
Mhm.
Dauntless are wrong without doing that. But I don't want to
We're not
preach.
providing both viewpoints of like one person's like it's a crazy thing to think, and the other person's like, was it so crazy?
Yeah, but it's like the pure evil. Like, it's the character that is pure evil already in the book that says it's good. And so I do think it just underscores the evil of that character. And then they explicitly call out, like, okay, yes, Eric is bad.
yeah, I don't know.
So you
I
like
think it
bothered me.
didn't need it.
Didn't need it.
Didn't
Not
need
even
it.
what bothered me.
It was
the thing
again,
that-
it was one of the extra side characters anyway that there were too many of.
the thing that I couldn't stand was just like, what is Divergent? Because at first going into this,
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about it. And I thought, oh, Divergent, like neurodivergent. Oh, this is going to be interesting. The main character is going to be neurodivergent in some way. But nope, that's not it. That's not it at all. She just is more than one, has more than one
Action.
characteristic. She's
Yeah.
it's so,
Like all
it's so like
people would.
I didn't understand, because I was like, wouldn't anybody who've switched factions have more than one characteristic, or like be like have lived a
Mhm.
life having to be selfless?
So they get this injection, which
Yeah.
provides them a simulation, and it's supposed to determine their faction.
Like a
Are you
test.
Dauntless? Are you
Yeah.
Candor or whatever?
personality.
And hers is inconclusive because more than one could work for her, and that is Divergent. But the test was like, a man asks you if you know someone, do you lie or tell the truth? A dog is rushing at you with bare
do you
teeth.
grab a
How
knife
do
or
you react?
or cheese to throw at the dog? She
And
didn't.
she's like,
use
I
it.
don't know which one to pick, and they were like, she's Divergent.
I just was like,
Yeah, not like she's an idiot.
Yeah.
it just
We
seemed
said
like-
pick one.
I kept waiting for more explanation as to what Divergent was, and it just felt like it was nothing. And I felt that really disappointing for
Yeah.
being like the main thing about why this character was special.
Especially it wasn't different enough from like when you think about yourself and you're like, which one would I be in? Oh, I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So it like, oh, I'm Divergent. So but it's just because
Everyone's
everyone in the
divergent.
world would
Yeah,
feel
but-
that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that is the beauty of the book, because then you're definitely relating to the main character, because the thing that makes her different in this world is that she is multifaceted.
But
And
I feel like
all
the
people are
characters
multifaceted, so you're addicted to Triss.
But then you immediately
I
from the
don't
beginning
know.
are like, well, I think that character seems multifaceted. Are they Divergent? And then you're like, a lot of them are
I know,
by the end.
it was-
but
yeah.
also it just had no weight. It was just such a weird, like, to be like, we'll tell you later. We can't tell you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and all that hint to be like
Like,
nothing.
you guys ever read The Giver when you were in middle school
Yeah.
or
Of
whatever.
course, a
And it's like-
favorite.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing where like the one character is different than all of these sort of drone-like obedient characters. And his thing is he can hold memories and learn about history where everyone else can't. It's like, oh, there's something that is
have a
different and makes him
power, they
different.
do
And we
something,
see
yeah.
how it could be a problem for the people in charge. Whereas hers is like, oh, she wanted to lie and do a flip. So she's dauntless and candor, and she didn't want to kill someone. So she's a little bit of abnegation. Wow, wow, wow. You know, it's just like pales in comparison to books that have done the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It
the
was-
Giver rules. P.S. The Giver
Oh
rules.
my God, so good. There's a follow-up to it too, isn't there?
I didn't know that. Let's see. All right, so some other character. Okay. Also, the way Dauntless defines who, like, so not everyone who picked Dauntless gets to be in Dauntless. It's a contest of the initiates.
It's the only one
the
that
book
does
is
that
like,
too.
yeah, it's the only one that does that. So Triss has to like do all this stuff and hopefully make it. And it seems like if she doesn't make it, she'll be something called factionless,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
homeless.
No, it's not even, but it's not homeless. It's just like she says, oh, it's the people that have to do the jobs nobody wants, like be a janitor. And I was like, okay, that's fucked up, Veronica Roth. That you're like creating, you're just like being like, you'll have to be blue collar. Like it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Like-
so lame. I couldn't
Like the
believe it.
dregs.
And
of
I thought it was
society,
homeless. That's
blue-collar
how bad
workers.
she's
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, yeah, she didn't explain it. Yeah, you're factionless. Yeah, she
Because
treat the one
she
guy
said people
did,
like donated stuff to them
Right.
and like asked for money on the street. That's why I thought
Okay,
he was homeless,
also
but he's just a
there's-
janitor.
So many people that are factionless, and yet they
Yes,
can't just
yes.
get together and have like it's like they're completely incapable of taking care of themselves, having any sort of like community space. They're all just like, it's basically presented as they are all just like these kind of like witch figures roaming the streets, like holding apples out to
Yeah.
children.
But it's like more than half of the people are going to be factionless.
Right.
And that's even people who make it to initiation. So they had to like right after they chose Dauntless, they had to jump on a train and a boy couldn't do it. He was too scared. So he's factionless now or something. You know, not or
And
something.
one of them
He's
died.
factionless now. And one of them died jumping
Yes.
off the train. Also, are you kidding me? The only way they can ride the train is jumping on and off a moving train. That's
makes-
okay. I quit Dauntless. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding? What if
Also,
you're
like what
tired?
happens when you're like 23 years old and like and every age over 23 where it's like, hey, you know what, it's starting to hurt a little bit
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
Well,
jump on and off
I
the
feel like
moving
all
train.
the characters were like very young. Like it was like no one old wasn't, very few old people were in charge. Like even Four, who is the guy, he's like running their training, etc. He's revealed late at a point to be 18, and I had been thinking he was like 30 something the whole up until they said he was 18, because I was like, this
I
doesn't.
think she might address that by being like, Dauntless will die before they get old because of their
There's not a
lifestyle,
lot of old.
which is like, okay, great. Then once again, you don't pick Dauntless. You know, why don't you pick abnegation and every now and then jump off a cliff?
We
For
need
charity.
to talk about we need to talk about a major, I think, huge logical error in the book, which is
Okay.
basically Triss finds out that her mom used to be Dauntless and her mom switched factions and went to abnegation. So first of all, if her mom knew what the Dauntless initiation process was like, maybe tell your daughter just
Yeah.
before she goes that like, hey, you
And
might die.
Mhm. And the mom hints
they changed
before
the
she
rules.
chooses.
No, but
That's-
she
What's that?
seemed to know. She seemed to know.
I think you could just give a little bit more of a heads up about like it's kind of cutthroat.
It's like the whole Divergent thing. Like she knew she was Divergent, didn't say. It's like, why? Why not? There's the reason was like, I want.
Mom
you
didn't know
to
for
choose.
sure that she was Divergent. She suspected it.
But
and
why
then when
not
things were
say
going
something?
crazy. Well, because the rules don't allow you. And she figured if
It's
Triss knew
ridiculous.
that she was Divergent, she was in mortal danger, which as a mom, I could see.
wanting to let your kid
as
know
a
they're in
mom,
mortal
I
danger.
could see. You wouldn't want to put your child.
Are you trying to
in
tell
mortal
us something?
danger.
I feel like information's going to help at that point. But, as we find out later, as Jonna told us in her Jonna Jabber section, she just dies, so it doesn't matter. I can't. Oh my God, sorry. I won't skip it to the ending, but that was
One more thing about
you
the
can defend
mom.
yourself. You can jabber.
So the mom being dauntless went to abnegation. Okay. So the whole premise is like faction before blood. When you leave your family, you can never talk to them again. You're only part of your faction.
Yeah.
But if the mom was in Dauntless, it means that Triss has grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins that are all in Dauntless. Like the rest of her mom's family would still be there. And it makes no sense to me that it's never mentioned in the book. There's not one single person that's like, oh, that's my niece. Like, that's my first cousin. All these people she's interacting with, you got to be careful. You guys might be first cousins. 4 might be your first cousin,
well,
which we find out he's from another faction. But
oh yeah.
It's a very
It's
good
from her
point, Jo.
faction.
And it just also felt like there were for the whole talk about like how no, it's such a big deal to betray your faction and pick a different faction. You'll never see your family again. It just felt like a lot of them did, like
Yeah.
half of them did. I was like,
Well,
okay.
it's weird
There's a
because we were
visiting thing.
focused on the group of people who did betray their faction. Not
but
betray.
they
just
were
like
like
chose a different
50%
faction.
of the group that was pledging, or I don't even remember what they called it. It felt like frat
Initiation?
Yeah,
Initiation?
okay, that's what
Recruits.
pledging.
they were getting
Initiation.
hazed.
Yeah, they were getting hazed.
Initiates, yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
Initiates.
It really was
I
like
wanna-
a frat.
I want to talk a little bit about the Dauntless initiation process
Mhm.
because I
I love
think
it.
it doesn't make total sense.
Yeah, I think you'd be right.
Because they fight each other. They have to fight each other. It's very detailed
Fight
violence.
Club.
It's a fight club thing, and then they get these rankings based on did you beat somebody who's bad, who you were expected to beat? Did you, underdog do a win? You get points, and then that's the only thing that determines their rank. And again, if you rank too low, you're out. So the fighting is the only thing that determines their rank, but they do tons of other stuff. Like they do a capture the flag game and they're all worried about how they're being perceived. Like, why? Just fucking sleep through that shit. Doesn't fucking matter. It pissed me off so bad because there's so many times where it's like, oh, good, our main character's being so brave. She's like climbing up this high thing on capture the flag. And then another character and her are racing who's going to get the flag because it matters who gets the flag. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Clara, you're
Another
completely right.
Most of that part of
It
the
just
book
was so
pointless.
disappointing when they revealed what the rankings were. I guess I was thinking it was going to be revealed that all these little side interactions we've
Yes.
been having
They
are
didn't
like
know, but
where
they
people are actually being
Mhm,
brave. For example, the guy who ended up killing himself like stood up to the leaders to help another person. I was sure that was going to come back as like, you get points for being brave.
Was that
No, we're
Al
just
who killed
listening.
himself?
Ow,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Can I also
Yeah,
can I
Zan.
also mention this character? I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, is Al, he was like he was a big guy, right?
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
And
fatty.
Allie,
Gentle
but it starts
giant.
early on. Al is like crying at night because obviously it's like
Yeah.
too much pressure.
It's a hard
And
time.
our main character, who we're supposed to like, she's just like, oh my God, that's so fucking embarrassing. Like,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
reaction to it was wild. And I was so wild that I was like, oh, this is a real big character flaw. It's going to come back that like,
she needs to have empathy and doesn't or something.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but no,
It's
it
just
was just
something.
like actually it was good for her that she felt that way.
I thought it was the author trying to make a point that she like trying to shove down our throats that she belongs in Dauntless and not Abnegation. She has no empathy for him. She
But
would,
the whole
and
point of
it's
being
just like,
Divergent is that she would have that.
yeah,
I
she's
don't know.
supposed to be both, but it felt like the author trying to make the decisions she had already written into the book make more sense. I mean, it didn't
Yeah.
work, but it felt like she's backtracking with this like over the top, someone's crying and it's pissing me off.
I feel like I just want to butt in and just say quickly for all of our fans that are like, we know Sabrina loves this book. Where is she? Why are they trashing this book? And Sabrina's not defending it. Sabrina is a little busy. And so she will be coming in and out. All right. And it's not that she would not defend this book tooth and nail. It's just that she's coming in and out. All right. So she might be missing some of the mean things we're saying about it. That's all I want to say.
Sarah, are you muting her mic? Is that what's going on?
Sabrina, are you in? Are you in danger?
Sure, I'm sure.
I'm blinking twice.
Erudite. My God.
Wait. I do want to respond because
Okay.
I am here. Okay.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you for the prompt because, okay, Al sucked. And I do think it's a good thing
That he killed himself.
Yeah, no, that's not what I said. That's not what I
love
said.
that.
That's what you implied. It's what you implied.
No, I was going to say, I think it's a good thing that Triss was, you know what, judging him a little bit because she knew in her heart that he fucking sucked. Because guess what he tried to do later in the book? He tried to kill her. Okay.
He was mind controlled.
No,
tried to kill her.
No.
Wait,
no.
she wasn't mind controlled?
No, Al
He
on
He wasn't
his
mind
own,
controlled.
He
Yeah.
was not mind controlled.
buddy.
He's
Okay,
just
but he had a
weak
lot going
little
on. Yes.
baby.
It's not an excuse.
But,
He
Sabrina-
held her over a pit and tried to
No,
murder
I
her.
really thought
Okay,
he was
okay.
mind controlled.
Okay,
No,
we'll do
not
that.
bad.
But he wasn't consistently that bad throughout the book. Yes,
not
at one point in the
bad.
If someone has that in them, certain people can sense it. And I like to think that I would be able to sense if somebody sucked enough to hold me over a vat. Okay. Or a pit. Sorry. I don't think there was anything bubbling.
Okay,
a pit.
who is the character who, when Christina was about to fall and the leaders were like, let her fall, he was like, no, you said 5 minutes
Was
and now I'm
Al,
going to
wasn't
help
it?
her. That was Al.
That was
So
Al.
the same person who was extremely
doesn't make
loyal to
sense.
his friends, then went through a terrible experience of the
That's
training, or he
But
switched.
that's
or,
why I thought
terrible
he was mind
experiences. I don't try to
control.
murder someone.
Right.
Yeah.
I just
Mm.
felt like that was so out of character. I just, in my head, was like, oh, he
Yeah.
was definitely mind controlled. And in my head, they just like forgot to like talk about
To
it. But we
say.
were supposed to assume that that's what happened.
Well,
once
that's a
everyone
big flaw with the book. If
Well,
that's
once
the
everyone
case,
was getting
the
mind
author
control-
forgot to talk about it.
I mean, just that it didn't make sense to me any other way because
like there were so many other characters who could have been the one to stand up for Christina, but to have Al stand up for a friend and then later try to murder a friend because like he values himself
And then he
more
felt
than the
bad
friend at
about
the
it.
end, but less.
People
really
contain
thought-
multitudes, Clara.
I cannot believe this. This is really going to bother me. I cannot believe that he was not mind controlled during that. It was so crazy.
It's
to me.
not said at all that he was mind controlled.
I know it's not said, but it was like
He
it
wasn't.
just-
He
No,
wasn't.
the mind control didn't come until after they injected them with the trackers later.
Yeah.
I just
The
assumed
trackers.
he had been
possibly
done
been
an
mind
early,
controlled.
like an early.
This is a huge leap
they
to make,
tested him.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, they,
but
yeah,
I
they did a
made that-
beta test
Look-
on him.
Look, I naturally made that huge leap because the opposite of the other option of it just being like his character just did that didn't make any sense to me either.
It
So I
doesn't
was-
make sense.
Look at how hard Sarah has to work to make this book go forward.
We also have
It's
to talk about
unfair.
something that actually made me furious related to that moment when basically Triss gets like ripped out of her bed and taken downstairs by Peter, who's the evil villain, and Al, who is some of us say mind controlled, some of us say acting of his own accord. She's
believe
dangled over a pit, and then one of the guys reaches up under her outfit and like touches her in some way.
Oh my
And
god!
After that happens, she goes to the people in charge, like 4. I can't remember if it's 4 or someone else. And she's like, yeah, I kind of got held over the pit and like, so somebody kind of touched me. And the advice was just like, keep your head down and don't talk about it. And I just want to remind everyone, this is supposedly a book for young adults. That is a fucking insane message to put in a book for young adults.
Yeah,
That's
That-
crazy.
that was actually the most upsetting, more than like the deaths or anything, just because it felt so like so
Violating.
specific and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was bad. I wish I wasn't in the book. I wish I wasn't in the book. It didn't add
does
anything.
not need to be in the book at all. It's like
They're
it's
already
like a
trying to kill her.
one sentence moment, and then the resulting action is like, hey, just like don't talk about that because it's gonna cause a problem if you do. Jesus Christ.
Wow. And these are our heroes.
These are heroes. Also, do you know why there's like this big mystery of 4 And it's like 4. What could it mean? What could his name mean?
I tell you
4.
what, I didn't care the whole time, but go ahead.
Yeah, they all have weird names. It didn't seem like I just kind of took it as it comes. Go on.
Well, the answer is he's only afraid of 4 things. That's the big mystery.
The next section
That's
after
hot. I don't care what anyone says. That's hot.
I thought it was gonna be something cool, like he killed 4 people on his initiation
I think
day.
that would have been cooler, Jonna.
Oh yeah, you want
But I want to
teenage
explain
murderer.
what the fears thing is. There's like a fear landscape. It's the next part of the initiation. You know, once she passes this fight club, then they're like, oh, now we're gonna inject you and you're gonna go into your fear landscape, and all your fears will appear, and you have to defeat them. And somehow, like, the people who can defeat it fastest will do the best. And because she's divergent for some reason, she can defeat them faster or has fewer of them or something. I don't know.
Right. So Divergent now has 2 things. It is 2 defining things. 1, you have more than one character trait. 2, you can control the hallucination simulation drug.
Why?
Injected into you.
It
does. They don't go. I don't think the 2 things are related. I think
I know,
2 separate.
It felt like a leap. It felt like I needed a little bit more to understand.
Just the fact, like, that we're talking over that the way they got into these simulations was with an injection. It's like, just do fucking VR. Why is it an injection? Fuck off.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
I think there's a lot of stuff that, or even like, I'll be honest, I didn't catch this, but when I was reading Goodreads reviews, somebody commented about how, like, all for a book that has so many guns, it's like the author definitely didn't know anything about guns, and the way she described them was wrong and generic. And I thought that was kind of funny, but to be honest, I don't know anything about guns, didn't catch it. One thing that I guess I did catch was just like the whole or something that she also glossed over, the author, was talking about how we got to this Chicago where there were just these different factions. It was just like there was a war and this was the result. There was no explanation. And it was just like a weird, standstill of technology. And like, but they mentioned at some point that buildings aren't built in brick anymore, but like the technology really sounds just like it stayed in the year.
Right. Like a lot of books like this will have like an authoritarian type government and evil people in charge.
It's like a socialist
like
government.
Hunger Games. Right. But this doesn't have that. It's her old faction abnegation that's in charge. And their whole thing is selflessness and trying to help people. It's like,
it was weird. I didn't know what they were trying to say with it. And I think I was frustrated because, in the end, abnegation, they're like the good guys and they're getting attacked, even though it seemed like people really didn't agree with how they were governing, and which I think is would be like a fair, interesting kind of like fight or discussion to have. And the erudite didn't agree with it, but the erudite weren't like, it wasn't like socialist first capitalist, or like, it wasn't like something that you could grab onto. It's just like the erudites were like, we want more things. And the abnegation were like, we think poor people should have more stuff. And that was
I don't even know that it was that explained.
You're right. I might be
it was
explaining
like,
it more.
We're tired of a government that doesn't like prosperity is maybe one line in there of why they're going to war.
I just couldn't believe how light it was, and how I was like, we're not going to go into this at all. It's supposed to be a dystopian novel, but like where there was nothing about like the world or how it got there. It feels like that's a very important part.
We learn more because it's a series. You got to save something for the rest of the freaking series.
No, she realized there was a problem at that point. I had to like write a function, basically.
I guess I'd like to know, Sabrina, do you want to fill us in
on what happens in the rest of the series?
Yeah.
I mean, I could after we talk about everything that happens in this book.
Oh, I thought you were going to say after we take this commercial break. Because we probably should. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
I feel like it's weird to jump to the rest of the series without talking about the rest of the book.
Fair. Okay.
So most of the book is just like a training and then, trying to being hazed to join the frat that you wanted to join. And then like the last 50 pages are like, yay, you made it. You joined the frat. And then it's like, oh no.
Cool. So it seems like Sarah kind of wrapped up the rest of the book. So time for.
Oh no, mind control. Oh no, it doesn't work on Divergent people for some reason. And oh no,
So
your parents are dead.
The end. The erudite are upset. They want to do an army, but they're nerds, right? They're the smart book readers.
They're big
So
time
they
nerds. They
can't-
couldn't make a robot or anything like that. They're not that kind of nerd. You know what I mean?
They're not that kind of smart. So, but they can make a mind control serum, and then they can jam it into the dauntless, strong fighter risk takers and make them be soldiers. And they will basically be sleepwalking, killing machines.
Yeah, it seems
Guess
like you
who
could have done
doesn't
more
like that?
something more
Tris.
subtle. Could have done
Chris
something
has
more
a problem
Yeah.
with it.
I don't.
Of course, annoying teenager.
For
Don't
being
like
erudite,
anything.
they're so goddamn dumb. Like, I mean, mind control, good idea, but
know.
like, let's do something subtle. Like, let's make it so the other factions don't notice, and then you can
Right,
slowly
like
take
it could
over,
be
like, come
mind
on.
control that they believe in your cause and want to fight, as opposed to
Yeah.
just sleepwalking, killing machines.
Zombies, yeah.
Whatever.
They're all
Oh,
so stupid, though. It's not just the erudite.
it's
It's
true.
Mm-mm.
it's like
true.
all. I mean, okay. Here's Tris is stupid. One thing that keeps happening is every time she sits up in bed, she almost hits her head on the bed frame, which I do not understand how that's possible.
She's small too.
She's very petite. I don't know what kind of movement you're doing that if you go to sit up in bed.
Sort of inchworm slamming yourself until you're upright.
Another
I don't
that
think
was-
they have bunk beds. If you're thinking,
No.
oh, they're bunk beds and we're being ridiculous, is not. They don't have bunk beds.
What kind of bed frame are we working with? The other thing that really made me laugh was Clara mentioned they played Capture the Flag before for no reason. It's really important to them to win. And someone's like, where should we hide the flag? And someone is on the team is like, well, the last time we won, we hid it in the carousel. And everyone's like, okay, let's hide it in the carousel.
Like, that's such a dumb
That's
plan.
what works.
I don't
Do
know,
what
that's
you
the
know
best
works.
idea.
They are
And
so
they won. That's how stupid the other dauntless people are. Hiding in the carousel again worked.
I guess they thought, let's not check that because there's no way they did it twice. Oh my god.
I love
Yeah.
Capture the Flag. Did you guys like
Oh my
Capture the
God,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
fun.
It's such
I
a
would
good
play right
game.
now. I'd play tonight.
Oh my God, I want to play Capture the Flag.
Me
Okay,
too. Maybe
next
for
time
our
we're together.
birthdays.
We could do some sort of Capture the Flag.
Yeah, like a summertime.
You guys know you're in different locations, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we're planning it. We're trying to
Birthdays.
plan it.
Oh,
play an event.
Okay.
For God's sake.
We're trying to plan it. My birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Claire's birthday's
February
coming
I
up.
would love
Capture
to
the
play
Flag
Capture the
sounds
Flag.
nice.
Could
Yeah.
be indoors.
Why are we shitting
It'd
on
be
the
nice
idea?
here.
I'd like to hear
I
your
don't know.
proposal for Claire's birthday, everyone else.
Mhm.
I don't know why I was shitting on it.
Movies.
Honestly, that's on me.
Did you say
That is-
poopies, Sarah?
I said movies.
Oh, okay. Thought you were
Um,
attacking.
Or, oh my gosh, we could poopies. And guess who just got a bidet? It's
You,
me.
I
For my
guess.
birthday?
I got it for Christmas, but
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it's a weird
You're-
thing to brag
Bring up.
about
To
mid
pub-
pod.
yeah, it's
Be like,
because
speaking of poop,
You know,
It's
that's where we
because
are
Sarah-
in this movie.
it's
in
because
this book.
Sarah recommended poopies.
I did
she
not.
didn't.
Clara's
No one said
birthday.
that
I
word.
heard it. Clara
Sabrina,
heard it.
it's like you were waiting for the slightest opportunity to hold your
Okay,
bidet
Like,
over
is
our
anybody
heads.
gonna bring
Can
up
I just say
butts?
I wasn't. I really wasn't. And
It-
it was
hard to
handed to
believe.
me out on a platter.
It wasn't handed to you. It must be on your mind constantly. If you're just
Are you
if you're
angry
making
to
these kinds
use
of
it
logic
right
leaps.
Someone said the word movies. I can talk about the bidet.
now?
Okay, you play it back. Clara said poopies.
I'll play it back because I'm
I didn't bring it
editing,
up.
but I know I'm right.
I mean,
do
I
you
know I
have
said
one of
that. You
those?
don't have to play it back, but still.
Do you have one of those ones that heats the water, or are you just going with cold toilet water?
Oh yeah, she gets warm, baby.
Oh, that's nice. I have
Okay.
a cold toilet water
Huh.
one.
That's nice.
It's really nice.
When that cold hits you, feels so good.
All right, this
You
book,
can do the same thing if
This
you just
book,
splash the toilet water.
Divergent. We'd rather talk about cleaning our shitty assholes than Divergent. Here we go.
I don't have one of those.
What factions do we think we are? Should we talk about
Yeah,
that?
we gotta talk
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
Now, obviously, if the factions, well, let's just go with their definition, not like what they were in the book. Because, like, obviously, I'm erudite because I'm extremely smart, but those
Oh
people
my
were
God.
fucking stupid. So I wouldn't fit in with those fucking nerds
So
either.
let me remind everyone: we have abnegation, the selfless; amity, the peaceful; candor, the honest; dauntless, the brave; and erudite, the intelligent. I feel like all of us would probably be candor.
I'd be really
Well,
happy in candor.
I'd
really
hate it
happy.
there. I'd hate it there.
What?
hate-
The initiation
Why? What's to
process
hate?
The
was
premise of our book club.
What's
the
to hate
initiation
about
process.
honesty?
No.
Okay. The premise, I don't know. I'm mixed up now. Not the premise. What I wanted
Yeah,
to
but
say
then
was
everybody's honest to you all the
Yeah,
time. I
I
like
missed my chance by misspeaking.
Sucker. We'll jump on you. That's because you
But
put candor. You don't shut up.
That's not what candor is. The initiation, they reveal all your deepest, darkest secrets to everyone.
Isn't
that's
that
fucked
kind
up.
of nice? Whenever you say something, it takes some of the power away. When you
Yeah.
Hey, Jonna, read us your search history.
okay,
I'm doing
Okay,
that.
I
I
don't-
could do that too.
I will
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know.
Let's
Fine.
all
Here we
read our
go.
search history.
Here we
It's
go.
not that interesting now that I've.
It's gonna be awesome. Google Calendar, Wordle, chess.com. Scrolling
Mhm.
back.
What are you skipping over?
Yeah, it does seem
Wow.
like you're skipping.
Launch
got-
Zoom, Google Drive, Gmail, launch Zoom meeting. Tarea por mi clase de español. The sneaky allure of a detox. See, I'm trying to look for anything you can sink your little teeth into.
I don't even have any.
I just
Yeah.
read the New York Times and CNN. Mine is Poplight, Brooklyn Public Library, Peerless Peer Book, Reddit, Fig Leaves White Swimsuit, Fig Leaves Swimwear, Met Opera 2023 calendar, Shapewear with strapless bra, strapless shapewear, dressy culotta. That was supposed to be culottes, but I said culotta.
That's
Dress
fun.
with
Yeah.
giant bow spelled BOE.
Yeah, I think we'd all
Shapewear
do well in
with
candor.
strapless bra.
Yeah.
And then I put my bra size in. Ryan Reynolds gin.
We can stop
Litter
the list.
box.
I think.
Stop
Images.
anytime. Yeah, it gets a little interesting. This morning, I found out one of my neighbors was a sex offender, so I was Googling him.
Oh my god.
I was also Googling syphilitic nose because men are watching the Nick. So those are kind of some fun
that's
searches.
upsetting. That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Korean body scrubs, Korean body scrub YouTube experience watch. It's kind of freaky.
Mhm.
Candor, baby.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I
you've
know,
earned
right?
you and Sabrina earned your way into candor, I guess.
All right, or Clara, you had an argument.
For myself, yeah.
I don't know. Say what you were going to say.
Erudite. I would be
Oh,
erudite.
you shut up.
Nerd.
We all ignored it because it was ridiculous.
Okay.
It seems like they drive themselves crazy in that one.
Yeah, the way it actually is in the book is bad. They're
It's
nerds.
also just like
but the
they love
idea that
books.
like all the smart people go to it should be a utopia for the smart people, you know what I mean? All the smart people go over
Shouldn't they
here,
be
make a
but
perfect
they're
world
not
for
even
yourselves.
making all the rules. Like they're not like all
I
the
know, I
doctors. Aren't
know.
the doctors in like the
Abnegation or something.
abnegate? Or yeah, I don't. Why are the?
I mean,
government-
honestly, I guess
I
I'd
don't
be
know.
factionless.
Yeah, you would, honey.
Well, I hope you guys will throw some coins at me.
Oh, I'm not going to be abnegation. Sorry.
You
That's
would be.
Well,
ridiculous.
you can still
I
do it.
think I would be
Just-
amity.
The gentle, fun one.
Yeah.
Don't
So-
you
the
think?
forgettable one.
I can't believe you guys
Well,
aren't saying erudite. How's your self
I would
confidence?
be erudite. But
I mean,
wouldn't
I think
amity be the
obviously I would
obvious
be
pick
erudite.
for everyone? It's just like nice.
I'm sorry. What did Sarah just
peaceful.
mumble?
I said obviously I would be erudite. Obviously.
ridiculous.
It's
Absolutely
not,
ridiculous.
I mean,
After you
I'm just
dismiss
not
it from
proud
me.
of it. I'm not
I
proud of
could
it.
be.
Sarah, your candor. Sarah,
That's
your
not fair.
candor, and everyone thinks you're too
No,
much.
I'm
You're too
dauntless
true.
people were just like, you better learn to shut up. I don't know. It was
The cater people would be like, I have a question. And they'd be like, of course you do. Also, this another logic error. The book is riddled with them. But one, the whole point of candor is that you say the truth no matter what. That is the only thing that faction does. And then I read this quote from Will, who was a candor to dauntless transfer. He said, Dad always wanted me to come here. I mean, he said he wanted me to stay in candor because that's what you're supposed to say. But I know he always admired the
Interesting.
dauntless.
That bothered me too. That bothered me too. It was
wait.
like, I thought that if he felt something, he had to fucking say
He's
it.
divergent. Everyone's divergent.
Oh,
Okay,
he
but
must be
also-
divergent.
How could you
But
defend this,
also-
Sabrina?
Yeah, one, he could be divergent. Two, this kid's just
Could be.
speculating.
Well, he can't. He shouldn't be able to. Someone should be like, "How can you speculate that
He-
way?" Because he's candor. He would obviously say, like,
Well,
nobody calls him
you
on
can
his
say-
bullshit
everyone has to be
Okay,
speculation.
wait, hold on. Being candor does not mean always telling just the facts. It means telling what you think is true. So you could truth his speculation. He thinks is true.
Mhm.
He's telling the truth.
Let's go on
His
this
dad
journey with
always thought-
Sabrina.
His dad
And
always
you think you're not
admired-
candor right now? Oh my god.
What? No.
That's
Okay.
so
If
candor.
anything,
What
Okay,
does Sarah
candor.
think
Anything
candor is?
this
Does Sarah
reveals
just
that
think
I'm
candor
erudite.
is talking?
This is
Sarah thinks candor's talking.
if anything, it reveals that I'm erudite because I can parse the nuance. Okay. But he believed it was true. It's not a lie to say what he thought was true, but
I
that
still-
doesn't mean it
Sarah
was
does not
real.
understand candor.
I still go back to when I first started this book and I thought Divergent was going to be like somebody with ADHD or like somebody with who's like on the spectrum or something. And then I was so disappointed. And I kept thinking like, but I want to read that book where they're like, where the person on the autism spectrum has superpowers in a dystopia. And I'm really upset I didn't read that book.
Okay.
We could get you one.
Yeah, I bet there is one. Somebody tell me
bet.
what that book is. I want to read it.
This
All
book
right.
ruled.
We would obviously all be divergent because no one has just one character trait.
Mhm.
I don't know that we'd all have the ability to manipulate a simulation, though.
Oh, I for sure could. I used to lucid dream all the time.
Yeah, Clara, I also know that I could.
It makes me want to stab you with a syringe so bad.
Why a syringe? Oh, like a
Oh, because that's how you
mind
get-
control me.
That's how you got 'em.
That's how the happens in the book.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess the Divergent, it did sound a lot like what lucid dreaming is, what they could do in the simulations.
Yeah.
Which
I used to practice lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Did that mess up your sleep?
Yeah, how was that for
Uh,
you?
I don't know. I've always slept pretty well, but I will say
Mm.
that I never fully achieved flying, which was the goal.
Oh my god.
Same exact
When
thing.
was this? Are you kidding me?
I was really into it in like the end of high school, beginning of college. I had like a book.
Weird. This is so weird. Wait, you both, Jonna and Sabrina, you both separately on your own were like, I'm gonna get really into lucid dreaming so I can fly. Like,
Yes.
really?
All I wanted to do was fly in my dream. And
Yeah.
I would always get to the point where I like knew I was dreaming and it would get so frustrating. And
Yep.
and just like stupid shit would be happening around me. I'd be like, no, it's not real. Just fly.
This is so wild to me. I feel like in
Yeah.
high
Didn't you wanna
school,
fly?
I was just trying to like fuck in my dreams or like, I don't know.
I
Oh.
didn't say that I was only trying to fly, but
Okay, all right.
that was the
just-
big
I
thing that I
was.
never achieved.
I was only trying to fly.
It's odd that you both did that without.
Yeah,
wasn't
That
this
is
really
weird.
odd.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
People
though, we're
find each
friends.
other. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also found me, and I don't do that. And I think it's
Well,
weird.
Well, Claire, you found us.
Opposites attract. Divergence. I don't even know where we
I
are.
don't
Should
know
we do
what
another break?
that
No,
means,
I
but
don't,
I don't like it.
I just knew it would be
You say,
offensive.
Sarah, something?
I don't know. Let's talk about the book again.
Mm,
We could do an act out.
Okay, great.
that sounds good.
Here are a couple of suggestions I had. Tris taking her faction exam could be an act out. I also thought two people in abnegation just having a conversation, because in abnegation you're never.
Oh, but wait, we didn't even talk about. We're getting to act outs. Tris and Four.
That they kiss.
Okay, so
They fuck.
Tris and
No, they do.
And they-
Four, the instructor, has a crush on her very obviously from the beginning.
Even though he's 30.
He can tell
He
that
is
she's
2 years older
great.
than her.
And he's her instructor, so it seems like it could be really dangerous for him to obviously have a crush on one of his students.
Yeah,
But
it's weird because she's ugly
Yeah.
and is underdeveloped.
But also, this
she's
book
just
also
not
had that,
specifically pretty.
and
as
she
an
is
underdeveloped
We
teenager
learned that.
myself,
And I just want to point out when we learn that fact that Sarah brought up is when the boys are molesting her.
Yeah.
Is when we learn that, Sarah. Just
I feel like
that you turned it
was-
into a joke. Seems like it should be brought up.
Oh, fine. I think it was, they mentioned it earlier also when she would look in the mirror and just be like, oh, look, I can finally see a
Oh, you're
curve or
right.
like a
They
muscle.
did. They did. Okay, you're right. They did.
Not a
I'm
good
sorry.
description. Not very good.
Something that bothered me in this book, which we've seen in a lot of our books, is when like for the love interest obviously likes her, but the character like twists and bends the logic to be like, and he hates me. He's showing a special interest in me. It must be because he thinks I'm pathetic
Yeah,
and
he-
need help
He
and
picked
stuff
me
like
for
that.
his team because he wants it to be an excuse for when they lose.
Right. That's a quote from the book, what Sarah just said. It's very annoying to read that sort of thing.
Yeah.
On and on it happens. It's like, come on, man. He likes you. Thinks you're good. Get some self-esteem.
It's hard
Stop
to have
saying you're not
self-esteem as
pretty.
a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But when someone likes you very obviously, cut it out.
Listen, I think
It's time.
in adulthood, it's easy to be like, no, they don't like me. You're kidding. No.
He picked me for his team, so he has an excuse for when I lose. Is you need to see a doctor about your low self-esteem at that point. That's too low. That's depression.
Very true. What about the ending? I feel like the last end of the book is just like a different book because like I said, most of it's just like hazing and like a little
Then
bit of
there's a war
story. And then all of a sudden it's like a war, which I could see some people being like, yeah, now it's really picking up. I like this part. But I honestly didn't like that part because I felt like it wasn't earned or like, I don't know. It just so much happened at once and it wasn't. I don't know. What did you guys think about the ending? Did you like the action when it finally got to the action?
I did.
No.
I liked it better. What'd you say, Jonna?
no,
No,
Didn't
I
like
liked it
it.
better.
Really?
I liked it better because stuff was happening that made a little more sense. Like one person's shooting at you, you're shooting at them. There's no logical flaws. There's no frustrating.
I feel like when she
Mhm.
gets hit, she's like, oh, a wince, pain, keep moving. I'm
Mhm.
okay. But like then they would be like taken out by a shot. Also, her
Yeah, it
parents
did-
dying, the descriptions of what was happening made me be like, wait, what happened?
I'm pretty sure they're not really dead. I'm pretty sure it's her being like, I saw them fall down.
Oh,
They're dead.
Sabrina.
I think they're not really dead.
Are they dead? Are they alive?
Her mom definitely dead. Her dad, he didn't die. When did he die?
They said she
Oh,
thinks
you
he
didn't read
died.
the book. Yeah,
She thinks
he
died.
is holding his stomach that's bleeding out, and then he like turns gray, and his mouth goes
And
slack.
she's like, he
And then-
sacrificed
Do you not
me.
remember that part? Do you
and
not
then
remember
God
that part?
comes down and takes his hand and takes him up to heaven.
I don't remember that part, but I guess it's possible that he died.
Oh, I
You
thought
guess
it was
it's
kind of funny.
possible.
I thought you could
Three
tell us
people
because
are
you
telling you.
you
From
knew
the other-
story.
Well,
Now keep
I don't
going.
think he dies in the movie.
Oh,
sure.
okay. You're saying the book might be different than the movie.
I thought it was very
And-
funny the way the father dies because he's like sacrificing, claiming to be like, I'll
Pointlessly.
sacrifice myself, but he doesn't discuss it first. He just runs in one direction,
Yeah.
shooting blindly. It's
It was
like,
just like, well, that's
"Okay,
why he's not
thanks, Dad.
dauntless.
Now we have to deal with that. And you're
It's
dead.
unclear
Great.
why he
My
had
one-
to die.
like-
So
Like
the
maybe
action
a
was stupid.
plan where he was like, and I'll sacrifice myself, but it wasn't that. It was the elevator doors open and he ran out like a maniac.
All of the action, all of it made no sense to me. Like even she shoots and kills, is it Will, who's like Christina's boyfriend? when he's under mind control, but it seemed like she shot other people not to kill, but she like shoots him in the
I don't
head and
remember
like
that part.
kills him.
I don't remember
Oh.
that part.
Definitely
I have no
does.
memory of what you're saying.
Well,
Okay.
I understand because it was hard to pay attention because it was
Mhm.
not very well.
I will
action.
admit that maybe I wasn't paying enough attention at the end, because later I went back to like, I'll finish the book now, and it was like, oh, it's already finished. So that was a
Like,
surprise
it's
to me.
Yeah, I believe that. I feel like it ended kind of suddenly. Do you remember when she like fights Four?
I do. So 4 is under mind control, even though he's divergent.
Oh,
They have a
because they-
special one.
Yeah, which they could
that
have given,
he
I guess, could have
can't-
given them to
Right.
start with, but didn't.
Right. They have one kind of mind control the divergent can't beat, but they didn't use that one for some reason. They used the one they can beat. Infuriating. Which also brings up they're like a big part of the book is she has to hide that she's divergent. And it's like, but you have a special drug, like, why don't you give her some of the mind control and see if it doesn't work? Now you know if she's divergent or not. It's not
Yeah.
like you have to hunt it out. There's like a whole committee trying to figure out if she's divergent or not. It's like you have a cut and dry way to do it.
Also,
And the
she
only
literally-
reason you're afraid of it is because then the mind control wouldn't work on her. So why don't you try out?
Also, she literally gets tattoos of like both Dauntless and Abnegation. I just
It
don't
is
know.
that's a weird tell.
It's a weird tell immediately. I'm like,
Yeah.
she isn't really hiding it.
I also had that note.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't feel like there's much research done into how much tattoos cost. Like, where is she getting the money for these tattoos? I don't understand.
Well, I do think in this world it is perfectly believable that it's different. There's
Yeah,
just
it's
like this
different.
underground
What does that
cool
mean?
thing that you do, and you don't
Just
pay
yeah, I
for
think
it.
I also think it must be different, Sabrina, because they don't ever talk about it except when they say they give it to the factionless who are begging for it in the streets.
Give it.
It being money. Money is different in this world. That's a sign of a bad
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
That's
Very
all we can
vague.
Oh
say.
yeah, is it? How many copies did it sell? How many movies did it make?
Look,
My
the
point is
premise
that
of
people
our
are stupid.
podcast.
Sorry,
That people are stupid and they like bad books because they're stupid.
Yeah, you're right. It is the premise of our podcast. But I apologize if I missed it. Did we talk about the movie situation of what happened with the
No.
movies?
No.
What happened
Okay.
with the no, I don't think so.
So
Yeah, I don't
this
know what you-
movie, they set up the movie based on this book. They set up to be a big blockbuster hit.
Mhm.
And as it turns out, it wasn't the hit that they thought it was going to be. And so, and then they had the second movie, which also was like, and then the third movie, but the fourth movie, they were gonna make it a made for TV movie because they had been doing so poorly at the box office.
Wow.
And then like Shailene Woodley and Theo James were like, I didn't really sign up to be in a direct to TV movie. And then they just never made the last movie
All right.
ever.
Wow, because it was bad.
Sounds like why do you like them, Sabrina?
I like them because one, I love the romance between Triss and Four.
Okay.
Two, I love a story about a gal who is exceptional. I like
Of course, that actually adds up.
post-apocalyptic things. I like
There's not an apocalypse in this.
badasses. I like that they jump off the trains.
I think when you just said
Yeah, at
when you
times.
what you just said makes sense. Sorry, just with the girl and how like she just eventually is revealed to be a character that is the best at everything and can beat
Yeah.
everyone, and it makes sense to me that you would like.
I
that.
relate.
Yeah.
I was reading a book
exactly.
recently where it was like one of those scenarios where it's like it's kind of like in Encanto where you're not special and that's supposed to be special. That's not for me. That's not for me.
Yeah, that sucks. That does suck. I agree. But
It's just like
I don't mind that.
mm,
I find it so much more.
I can
relatable.
relate to the exceptional characters and I have a hard time relating to the regos.
Wow. Okay, sorry, Claire. You were gonna say
What about-
something.
what about when she gets beaten up like crazy because she has to fight a big, strong
that's
boy.
Cool. That's fucking cool.
But that's not her being exceptional. I guess
Now,
she
that was
doesn't
before
quit.
she
Is that-
revealed herself to be exceptional.
Yeah,
I mean, she kind of
okay.
quits. Her body quits. She
Yeah,
quits in like the
body
biggest
quits.
possible way.
And she like figures out how to fight better and then can do all
Sort
her
of.
other
It
cool
seems like
things.
she just figures out how to dodge people. I don't know if she
Yeah.
becomes a better fighter. She just
Well,
kind of stays out of the ring.
she can climb, and she has a divergence.
She's
and
good at guns.
do guns and stuff.
Great at
Basically,
guns.
at first she was bad at guns, and then she was like, "This time I steadied myself. Now I hit the target."
Exactly. The gun stuff was so lame.
I don't even know what happened at the end. I know there was
yeah.
something with like a hard drive, like she deprogrammed. They were all,
yeah,
it was all on
this was
one
so
hard drive or
stupid.
something.
This was so stupid. Sabrina has to leave the room. This is so stupid. Okay, so even it's an injection that controls their minds, but it's a computer code that's currently running, and 4 is good at computer code, but he's brainwashed, so he can't undo it. She breaks the brainwash with a kiss or something. Let's just say, I don't think it was, but let's
It
just
was
say
by
she
like,
does it that way.
by like giving in and being like stopping fighting him is what.
Yeah,
God,
yeah. So
I wish
now
she had broken it with a blowjob, but we'll go.
Yeah. Then I would like this book.
True love's blowjob breaks the
It's
spell.
16, Jonna.
So now he's
Okay.
unbrainwashed, and he goes to the computer and goes click clack click clack click clack. Okay, that stopped it. type. That stopped it. But I have to get the files, or they'll just restart it. Boop boop. Eject hard drive. I've got the files. That's literal. That's literal.
It
He held up
wasn't.
a
So stupid.
hard drive, an external hard drive the size of my hand.
That's how it
Eject hard drive so the files don't get damaged. It's safe to unplug. I got it.
Can I tell you what would happen if I were in her position? I walk into a room with like,
yeah, maybe
it's
this
like,
should be
Jonna.
the act out.
Okay, sure. Here, I'll be Sarah, you just walked into the room to get the hard drive. Sarah, I need you to go over to the computer
Okay.
And-
okay.
and get the hard drive. You need to stop the killing.
Okay. How do I do that?
Okay, look, do you see a computer around?
I'm looking. Yes.
Is it on?
Oh, it's on sleep. It's sleep. It's asleep. I got it. It's awake now.
Excellent. All right. So get into the computer.
Is there a password? Do you
What?
need a password?
Wait.
I'm here too.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Because when you said get into the computer, I thought you wanted me to physically walk into it, and I was.
No.
Zoolander.
Okay. All right. I'll do it. I think I'm gonna need more instruction than that.
You know if it's a Mac or Dell?
It's not looks like it's a homemade, computer.
Okay.
What are you doing here?
All right. Anyone know what the password is?
Are there any USB cords plugged in?
Oh, yes. There's something plugged
All right.
in. Yes.
Is it attached to a flat sort of rectangle?
Yes.
Okay,
Hard drive.
That's the hard drive. That's
Okay,
the hard
okay.
drive. What you can do is unplug it.
Oh, but I
from
can't do that without
computer.
ejecting it, right?
It might damage some files. That's true. So we should eject.
I'm just gonna pull it.
All right, pull it. Did it come out?
Yeah, it did. Nothing happened.
All the people are still killing.
In the book, that solved it.
Yeah, that solved it, Jonna.
So
We're the heroes now.
I actually can't even
Scene.
use somebody else's computer. I if I open up a computer,
believe you.
Starting with the mouse, I can't really use it.
I'm with you. I can't. I have an iPhone. Somebody hands me their iPhone. I'm like, how do you open this?
Or it's also like,
Oh,
where do
yeah.
you put your stuff? Like, where are your shortcuts? Like, why don't you have it the same way I have it arranged? It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
I would never get that far as to get to a shortcut.
I see what you guys were trying to do with the act out. That was frustrating for me. It's like, why doesn't one of them say what to do?
That's what's so good about act outs. They're improvised.
Mixed up a little. Mixed up.
But we got it. All right. So great book. Do you guys want to? We answer as the author. Somebody put that up.
Let's do it.
Okay.
John is gonna jabber some more.
Well, we get a lot of feedback that people really like it when I jabber. What advice, Veronica, are you there?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, wonderful. What advice would you give to young writers?
How young?
It's your question, Veronica.
Okay. I mean, I'm not talking to anybody who's graduated college when I give advice because it just doesn't make sense. Okay. So to everyone 18 and under, just try to write a story. Before you've written it, what you could do is Google famous me, how? And that should do the trick. And hopefully I'm speaking at that frequency that only the very young can hear. You know that how they have that sound?
Excellent.
The end.
Excellent. I'm so sorry. During our interview, my dog did something extremely cute. Veronica, are you there?
Very unprofessional.
I'm here.
Veronica, what advice would you give to young writers?
Oh my gosh, this is the best advice. It is read a good best-selling book and really take in the elements of it and then write a book that has those elements and different characters. And you know what, if that book happens to have a love triangle, I say just go for the love line,
Wow,
don't make it a love triangle.
Absolutely brilliant. Veronica,
Yes.
what advice would you give to young writers?
I would say definitely read the Bible because that's where I got inspiration for most of my book. But also, if you don't know how to do that, just Google how to read the Bible.
Thank you, Veronica. Okay, this is just my regular voice again. Here is the answer. I don't have a lot of life experience. You write from as much as you've learned and as much as you know. If it turns out really well, then you can try to get it published.
So vague. Oh my God.
Thank you, Veronica.
Well, I wouldn't like it if she gave specific advice as though it's not.
Yeah,
she got
that was a
very
real
lucky.
lose for her. I wasn't gonna like it no matter what she said.
Yeah.
What I did like was Sabrina sort of admitting a little fault of the book, a little Hunger Games copycat.
Yeah.
She
Matter.
admitted it.
I don't think that that's a fault. I think that really good things have taken
Okay.
elements of other really good things and recreated them.
Do you
I'm here
think
for it.
that this book is better than Hunger Games?
No, I don't, but I loved
Okay.
it a lot. And
So we
every
could
time I
call
was
this a
reading it, I was
worse Hunger Games.
Well,
And everybody could
just
agree
because
to
I
that.
didn't like it as much doesn't mean it's worse. That's my subjective opinion.
Okay, but the rest of us also don't like
Yes,
it
we
as much.
Okay. Listen, it's another good book.
Really similar and a little bit worse. And
Perfect.
after is a bad combination, I think.
Let's take a
Mm-mm.
quick commercial break and then we'll come back to Goodreads, hate rates, etc. Let's do it.
You guys remember when we were all talking and Sarah quietly said, obviously, I'm erudite.
It's like if she said it
Yes.
quietly, we wouldn't be able to contradict her because maybe we wouldn't hear it.
Sneak it by. Yeah, we're all the road. Yes, I'm not unplugged around.
And
Just me, just quirky me.
that was Clara being quirky.
Erudite.
Erudite.
John is banned. John is factious.
Look, let's do some quick Goodreads 5-star reviews. There were a lot of them, but I'm just going to read this one. Karen wrote, she said, the book is just fun. This is an unexpected
Karen's
pillow.
an idiot.
This is an unexpected pillow fight. Marshmallow syrup on strawberry ice cream. Kitten in a bag fun. It was recommended to me by a different Karen, and I borrowed it from work almost immediately.
Calling another person named Karen a different Karen.
If you are someone who needs your dystopian fiction to, make sense, you probably won't like this. No one is going to read this book and think, oh man, that is exactly where our society is headed. I can see that becoming a reality in 5 years' time. Nope. It is more like a board game. There are rules and you accept them and you play. But why are you a Scotty dog and I'm a thimble? That makes no sense because that's how the game is played. Stop asking so many questions and roll
She's
the dice.
coming for us.
5
She's coming
stars.
for us. All right.
love
I have
this
some.
woman. Except why is she borrowing this book from work? Where does she work? Good question.
I had a problem with as fun as a cat in a bag. She's
Kitten
psychopath.
in a bag fun. It's kitten
Is
in
she
a
a
bag
psychopath?
fun.
Is it a garbage
Yeah.
bag?
I don't. It
Claire,
does sound
are
like you're
you?
hurting a kitten.
It's come on. Does kitten in a bag? I can't think of a way
No.
that's not unpleasant for the kitten.
Kitten's
Yeah, that's animal
I bet
cruelty.
it's a paper bag.
Sabrina, you shook your fist and said kittens like.
No, I
Oh,
was
it was
being-
a paw.
Wait, sorry, I was being the kitten. Yeah.
You were
That's
being the kitten. I see.
We gotta turn this
Okay.
into a video cast, guys. With remote,
This one's
going
gonna
to
need to be a vidcast. What can we do but make it a vidcast?
All right. What are your hate
Um,
rates?
Oh, okay. I'll go 1 out of 5. It reminded me of The Hunger Games, which is a pretty cool book. Other than that, it was super annoying to read. It made no sense. Like the rules they set up didn't make sense. Like, hey Karen, why am I a Scotty dog and you're a thimble? Because those are like fun things to be, and you can choose and have fun with it. So if this book didn't make sense in a fun way where I could choose a fun, cute little Scotty dog, then fine. But it didn't. 1 out of 5. Boo.
I think before this cast started, I was going to give this a higher rating, but honestly, talking about it made me just remember all the things that I was like, oh yeah, no, that really did bother me.
'Cause I didn't participate enough.
Yeah, you would have really swayed me, Sabri.
Don't beat yourself up, Sabrina.
I think I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. It wasn't like so offensive. It was easy.
A 2?
Okay, you missed
Yeah,
somebody else giving it a 1. You're jumping in on 2.
All right. Peanut gallery. It didn't make sense. I couldn't keep up the characters. I really didn't like the ending. I wasn't so into the premise. Yeah, so 2 out of 5.
Agree with Sarah. Like that's what I love about you guys. The more we talked about it, the more I hated it, madder I got. And it felt good. I really liked the moment in the cast where Sarah said we were all candor. It made me feel like a team. It made me feel like part of a group. That made me feel good. So I'll give the book 1 point for
You
that.
just like that she said you weren't a abnegation.
I did
which
like
you
that a
obviously
lot.
are.
Okay, clocking that. And Claire, this is my time. And so I
Like
will
the
give the
peanut
book a
gallery as
2
well.
to be same as Sarah. Because we're
Ugh,
friends.
Gross.
Sabrina,
Okay.
we gotta hear it.
Yeah, well, it's a 5, you guys. I'm giving it a 5.
So confident.
I enjoyed every minute of listening to it. Okay. When I was leaving the office, I got excited because I knew I got to turn my book on. And it was just like this little
What
bright
a thing to
spot
say.
in my day. I loved it. So I was like so looking forward to it. It was like I was watching a TV show that I was into. And you guys know how much I love when I'm into a TV show.
We love when books are like TV, certainly.
Yeah.
She
And there's a
texted me
cute little romance.
Before I started reading the book, she texted me, I just finished and I loved it. So this is
Ooh,
Yeah.
trying
her-
to sway.
Just texted Clara.
what?
That's really
Weird.
interesting.
Ooh,
Kind of a
we're
secret
really
side-
close. We're really close.
side
We're really
text.
close.
Well,
Well, we're friends. We're really close friends.
yeah.
Weird.
Fuck.
You seem-
And
Claire,
I was
I'm
just loving it.
targeting my
And
rage at you for that as well.
so I was just having such a nice time. It was such a bright spot. So yeah, it's gonna be a 5. And am I, as I fall asleep tonight, gonna try and watch the movie some more? Absolutely. Did I buy the bundle on Amazon, all 3 movies for one price? Yes, I did. I did it because they took it off of Netflix.
It's on HBO Max.
Not anymore. Or
I was just watching it on HBO.
Maybe not all of them.
Yeah, maybe not.
I needed the
Divergent.
bundle.
No, but
Are you
yeah,
kidding?
Sabrina probably got a special bundle, Sarah. She got the special
Maybe you
one.
can return
Sorry.
it.
You're
Maybe you can still
kidding?
return
Are you
it.
kidding? Well, it was $10 for the whole bundle, so
That's
it
not
was.
And now
worth
you
it.
own it forever. And that's
Exactly.
really
Yeah,
good.
unless I end my Amazon Prime membership, which I was thinking of doing because we have 2 in the household.
That does seem silly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
too.
seems
I
silly.
have to get a charger. Vamp.
All right.
Wow, I never thought about that.
So-
How if you end your Prime membership, you lose every movie and film you've bought on it. I've bought movies on it, like
Oh, I
Planes,
always
Trains, and
read.
Automobiles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it turns out I bought a lot of movies on it, like more than 5, which
I
is
bought
more
like
than I
12
thought.
seasons of Below Deck. Don't tell my husband.
I
Don't
always
tell
end up
anyone.
paying for the streaming service over, buying which, honestly,
Well, I thought-
money wise, you might be smarter than me.
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't ever done the comparison, but I don't think it makes more sense.
Well, this I was like, well, what if I need to watch it again? Am I gonna
Yeah, for
pay
the podcast.
$3.99 to rent it again?
You're gonna own it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna own it,
And
and
no
I
one can
can't
ever take
believe
it
it's on
away.
HBO. My global search did not pull that up. That's fucked up.
All
Okay,
right.
well, that's a perfect segue to little fucker of the cast.
Yeah.
It
I have my
is.
vote ready.
Yeah, I do too. That's interesting. I do too.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, Jonna said she liked being a part of a team, so she'll vote with, or she'll hate rate exactly the same as Sarah so that they'll be on a team. But I had also gone. So she could have very easily said, I'll do it the same as Clara and it will be a team. So Jonna already picked that her and Sarah were a team and I was on the other team, and teams are opposed to each other, obviously. So Jonna basically already picked. So Jonna's my little fucker vote.
Well, that's interesting. The feeling's mutual, Clara, because of something you did around the time I decided to be on Sarah's team. I don't remember what it was that you did, but I remember that I felt
said Sabrina
anger
texted
flare
me.
up.
I said Sabrina texted me.
Oh yeah, that was it.
And Jonna, let me remind you about Jonna Jabbers. Sarah invented
Sarah?
that.
Sarah invented that, not you.
No, I ran with it because it's funny.
Yeah.
Sarah invented it.
She did
But
say
you were
it
just
more
part of the
than me.
bandwagon. We can't blame you for that.
Thank you. I know you would understand.
Have I already picked you?
No,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
she's gonna change her vote now.
she didn't vote yet, Sarah. Cut it out.
Okay,
This is
Cut
hard.
it out.
it's fine.
I just feel that it's not Sarah, and Sabrina's been
I can't
largely
take it.
silent. So it's
She
not
is the one who
Sabrina.
did the texting. She texted me and not you. It
Are you
sounds
trying
like.
to throw me under
I
the
don't know
bus?
I'm
why-
throwing anyone under the bus
I don't know why we're
can.
allowing this
Oh,
much
fuck.
retort from Clara. We don't really.
Yeah,
I just
But you know
realized what I'm
what?
doing.
I
It's gonna
admire.
be me.
I admire that you retorted so much. You fought so hard. You scrabbled. You scrabbled up
you.
from little fucker. Fought your way to the top. And I like that. And Sabrina just picked up a phone call and turned away. So I'm going to go ahead and make it Sabrina. I am.
Excellent. I like
I
it.
am. Yeah. I admire your tenacity, Clara.
All right.
Thank
well, you would think that that happening might change my vote because I had to listen to that. But no, my vote's been set in stone from early in the cast. It was essentially when the author section went first, and Jonna made a comment about that being the right way. I'm not voting for Jonna because that wasn't what made me mad. It was Clara
Wow.
butting in saying that she also thought that. So I'm gonna go ahead and
I've said that a bunch of
vote
times.
for Clara.
Why would me
Um,
agreeing with it be worse than Jonna saying
It
it?
wasn't you didn't do it. You weren't the one involved in it.
I do it when it's my turn. I don't draw
Called
attention to
punching
it, so you don't
down,
get upset.
Clara.
Wow.
It's rude.
The attack came out of nowhere when I was already being hurt, and you joined in, and I didn't appreciate it. So Clara,
Sabrina joined in too. This
Well,
is ridiculous.
Sabrina's the originator of the argument. That doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was an initial supporter.
Okay, now this scrabbling feels less powerful and more desperate.
Okay, thanks for the tip. Okay, I'll accept.
I have my vote.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Sabri.
And you might disagree with my vote, but my vote is for the Roku global search.
Okay.
It didn't tell me that this movie was available for free on HBO Max, which I have and should populate in the global search. And I'm really mad about that because I didn't want to spend $10. I'm trying to be good with money. And it's like it was targeting me.
Are
Yeah.
you most mad at Sarah who pointed it out?
Kind
I guess I
like a
could be
full
mad that Sarah
circle.
didn't independently tell me that it was available,
Yeah,
but I
I could've
didn't
told her.
ask. So it's really not on Sarah.
Okay.
Although
checked
I
out.
guess I thought that Sarah would like the book more than she did, and that upsets me. So, but it's
Well,
really the global search.
Just to target your little fucker a little bit more, I just want to let you know that the top shareholders of Roku are Stephen K., Ray Rothrock, Scott A. Rosenberg, Anthony J. Wood, FMR LLC, and Vanguard Group Inc. So that's
Okay.
who you hate.
Oh, you were gonna throw my name in there too.
I thought so too. They were going to say Sarah's the top shareholder, and I was going to be like, okay, you've convinced me.
Because if you vote for Sarah, then we'll all have one vote, I believe, which is
I
kind
don't
of
think-
fun.
I don't think
Do I
Sabrina
have a
has a
vote?
vote. No, I don't think Sabrina has a vote.
I voted, and Jonna voted for Sabrina.
I don't.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
I-
did?
Yes,
Why
you
would I
did.
vote for
Yeah.
Sabrina?
Yes,
It
you
doesn't
did.
even make
You
sense.
said she picked up
You
the phone
voted
call and
for
turned
me?
away.
Yes.
I vote for Jonna.
Oh, all right. Well, then that makes John a little fucker of the cast. Congratulations.
Whew, that was really coming on me hard.
Wow, you really pivoted there, Claire. That really.
It's so
That was
mad.
cool.
Wow.
All right. I just wonder what do our viewers think when we're in this section? Do they feel uncomfortable?
I think they
I
probably
think they
liked it. They
definitely
bad
feel
probably
uncomfortable
picked.
when there's a guest.
Mhm,
They're like,
Mhm.
what is going to happen?
mhm.
The guest feels uncomfortable. The guest doesn't like it.
Yeah.
They feel
I
sad.
imagine that the the listener has also picked one and is rooting for that person to be a little fucker. They'll have their own reasons, talking
Right.
Yeah.
over, screeching, something like that. Bad audio,
Yeah.
So write in with who your little fucker is, unless it's me. And then don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
And then hold your
It's not
side.
me. Come on.
So guys,
We're friends.
Meme Book Club, you can find us on Patreon, Gmail, Twitter, everything. Meme Book Club. Please join our Patreon. Please give us money. We will read the books you suggest. We love our fans. You'll get bonus segments, bonus episodes. What are we reading next episode, guys?
A book.
We are reading The Silent Patient by Alex M.
I also didn't want to say the last name. Mitchell. I'll figure out how to pronounce it before the episode. But I also want to say that there, just because I accidentally downloaded the wrong Silent Patient already, just do pay
Oh,
attention to the author when you're doing
Thank you
that.
for your help.
Oh,
Yeah, there are other Silent Patients books.
really?
hmm So, by Alex M, and we will tell you no more. Everyone else.
Let's see what I've got.
Our listeners are erudite, and they'll be
Yes.
able to find.
The
I'm
book.
sure.
We
The
started off calling you guys bitches. We're ending calling you erudite.
Wow.
The villains of the
Congratulations on
book
your
you just read.
transformation.
Just so
Yep.
you all remember,
little
erudite
butterflies.
is evil.
Evil. All right,
I
guys.
meant it in the best possible way. Well, we'll leave you on this new review from Jessa Sparkles on our podcast. 2 stars. Intentionally annoying. I want to like this show, but the hosts are intentionally antagonistic towards one another. I put on a blinding superiority complex. Mostly, I just want them to shut up. And I do so by hitting the stop button. And now you
Wow.
two can hit the stop button.
Okay,
Or-
Sparkles.
Wow, as long as she's subscribed, as long as she's still subscribed, it's okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Cool name, Sparkles. Hey, guess what? Sparkles stars, you idiot. So maybe more than 2 next time if you really want to sparkle. I think I took care of that.
Yeah, you got
Just
her.
We
fine.
got her.
Got her. Hook, line,
Oh,
sinker.
we're really a divisive cast, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love us
Oh my
or
God,
hate
wait.
us.
Did you guys see this review? I gotta read this.
Go ahead.
And Jonna, You're lucky I'm
If it's a-
reading this, even though you voted for me.
If it's a bad
Hilarious.
one, I don't want it.
No, it's
Can't
5
take
stars.
it. I think
5 stars. Hilarious discussion. Great improv. Excellent quote wine pairings. Each host brings something unique to the table. Feels like I'm listening to my much funnier friends.
Well,
Wow.
thank you,
I love
other
it.
review.
Don't tell
Thank
your
God
friends.
that'll balance me out.
Okay. Actually, Jess has said at the bottom, all except Clara.
Oh, I believe that.
Wow.
With the exception of Clara, of course.
Doesn't apply. They all say that. All right, guys. We'll see you next ep. We're excited to be reading season 15, baby.
We're back.
Bye.
Bye.